Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for watching. I'm really looking forward to having you join me on the Confident, Calm and Assured Leadership Workshop training that I'm offering. So it'll be great to have you there to join me. I'm conscious that also there might be some people who are just watching this who might be thinking about signing up for the workshop. But either way, I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts, and this is primarily for those who have signed up, the things to think about in preparation for the workshop. But I think they're pretty important aspects and will be really useful for anyone, even if you don't come along to the workshop. So I hope you get some value from it. From a leadership perspective, often we hear things around, how do I lead and inspire my team? How do I get them more engaged? How do I change the culture? How do I manage conflict? And a whole range of other topics. And of course, they're all really, really great and useful topics. But the thing that I like to focus on is real fundamental tenets of leadership that really help us get us on the front foot at the start. So whether you're in a leadership position at the moment, you're aspiring to be in a leadership role, I guess in some form we are all leading certain projects or teams or people or clients or patients in some form anyway. So these learnings are really relevant. So ahead of the session, I want you to think about two areas of focus. So the first one is, and it's a simple question, and it's a reflection question for you to go away and think about, is what are you on the hook to deliver in your role? What is your remit? This comes up in coaching a lot of the time. So when we often think about leadership or management, it often comes up when there is a problem or an issue. And so the first question I have for people is, again, what are you on the hook to deliver? And what is your remit? Because essentially that covers off, well, what's your purpose? And if you don't really have clarity on that, it's hard to articulate, which it can actually be for some people. Often we look at the tasks, but we don't look at the whole holistic aspect of the role. So if we can't articulate it or we're not clear on it, then the foundation by which we're trying to lead and inspire people is already shaky. So I encourage you to go away and have a think about, what is your remit? What are you on the hook to deliver, whether it be a service, a product that you're trying to sell, you're working in healthcare, banking, it doesn't really matter. For example, in my prior history to doing this sort of work in marketing, my remit was effectively to sell credit cards in very simple terms, and my team was there to help me to do that in a number of different ways. So again, have a think about what is your remit as a starting point, take a few notes, jot it down, and that way you're on the front foot to sort of create a bit of a leadership plan, which we'll talk about more in the training. The second thing is, what agreements and expectations are in place? So agreements and expectations, these again are really fundamental things, simple, but things that often get overlooked in terms of the work I do and the conversations I have with leaders, managers, and a whole range of different industries. So what agreements do you have in place, either for your role, perhaps with your manager, even if as a leader yourself, but also with your teams or people you work with, so other stakeholders. So are there clear agreements in place about who is going to do what, by when, and how? And so some people talk about these words of KPIs, which link to the expectations. So your key performance indicators, or just general expectations. So who is going to do what, by when, and how, and is that written down somewhere? So if I asked, say, your staff or people, your direct reports or people that work for you or work with you, would they give the same answer? And is there somewhere that it's written down and there's a common point of reference for it? And it doesn't matter if these agreements are loose at the moment or they're not written down, but we're just trying to get an understanding of what your reality is now. Some people will have these more formal, some people won't, but it's something I want you to think about ahead of the training, so you're really clear on what the situation is for you now and where you might want to start to make some changes. So again, what are the agreements in place at the moment? What are the expectations? And then even if you've got them, so perhaps you've done a lot of this work, are they still fit for purpose? Are they still relevant? And are people actually adhering to them? And we'll talk about a bit more why that's important. But those two things then form the basis, in my view, of really strong leadership. So you have the confidence that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. Hopefully you'll then be able to work towards a shared vision. So you have that confidence. You can stay calm under pressure because, again, there's a lot more clarity, there's less ambiguity, which can help with culture and a whole range of other things. So again, if we're focusing on these two aspects, then we're already on the front foot. So I hope that's of use. I look forward to seeing you online or in person, depending on where we're doing it for your sessions. But of course, if you have any questions or comments in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out. But I look forward to seeing you very soon.